Hello everyone, I'm Lazy Grouse and today we're gonna have a look at all the units and mechanics available to the Greenskins in SFO Grimhammer 2. First up we have the Forest Goblin, which is a goblin unit with slightly better offensive stats than the base goblin. They have lethal poison, which deals damage over time and debuffs the enemy. And they have Vanguard and Wah, which increases their melee attack and leadership at the cost of melee defense the longer they stay in combat. Next we have the Bone Clubber Tribe Savage Orc, which is the biggest baddest variant of the Savage Orc. They have a high melee attack, a high weapon strength and a good charge bonus, which makes them very deadly. They also have magic attacks and Banish, which lowers physical resistance, magic resistance and gives a miscast chance, and together with their magic resistance of 30% makes them very disruptive to casters. They don't have any armor and a low melee defense, but instead have a 30% physical resistance from Warpaint and a very large health pool to compensate for the low defenses. They also have Frenzy to boost their combat stats and Wah, which makes them deadlier and fresher the longer they fight. Black Orcs have gotten a new shielded variant, which of course makes them more durable with a higher melee defense, silver shields and the trait Expert Charge Defense, but they lose melee attack, weapon strength and charge bonus, so if you want your Black Orcs to be more tanky at the cost of offense and hold the line, these will do the job. They also have Wah, but that has been granted to all Black Orc variants. The Immortals are a legendary dual-wielding variant of the Black Orcs, but are exclusive to Grimgor. They have a higher leadership speed, melee attack and melee defense than normal Black Orcs, which makes them both tankier and deadlier than their base versions. They also have Immortals Cloak, which buffs lords and heroes nearby with melee attack and physical resistance, so you will want to keep them close by to your characters. Next up is Bigjungus, the Colossal Squigg, and it's easily my favorite addition to the Greenskin roster. It's got an incredible 130 speed, a high melee attack, a good weapon strength with AP and bonus versus infantry, a good charge bonus so you can just toss it into infantry sized units and let it go ham. It is however very squishy with medium armor, low melee defense and a very low health pool, so you want to use its speed to maneuver it and pick your targets carefully. It's got the ability Squigs Go Wild, which gives it leadership and more AP if it's winning in combat, Fungoid Squig Explosion, which summons Squigs if it dies, and Puff Spores, which buffs melee defense to allies in range. Next we have the Goblin Spear Chukka, which is an artillery unit which shoots giant spears as the name suggests. It's got a bonus versus large and armor piercing weapon damage, so it excels in taking down big monsters from range. Next we have the Savage Orc Warboss, which is a Lord variant exclusive to Worzak. He is a caster lord that is decently competent in melee combat with a Warboar mount and decent combat stats, except for its abysmal 15 melee defense and fairly low health pool. Without the boar mount he's got slightly higher melee defense but lower armor, health, speed and charge bonus since he is on foot. He does have Warpaint to mitigate some of the damage, Frenzy to boost his combat stats, and Bolster Defense, which increases his and allies around him with some much needed melee defense and charge defense. He also got Wah! And the normal orc spells. Last but absolutely not least, we got the Savage Rogue Idol, which is a legendary variant of the Rogue Idol exclusive to Worzak. He starts weak in the campaign but gets stronger through a skill line that Worzak has, but when he's juiced, like he is here, he's got more health, leadership, melee attack, melee defense and damage than normal rogue idols, and a lot of abilities like Earthshake, which deals damage in an explosion around him, Recovery, which regenerates some hit points, we got Trample, which deals damage to everything around him, we got Magic Bond, which increases power reserves and power recharge, we got Bolstered Armor, which increases armor and physical resistance, and Warpaint on top of it. And overall, he is large and in charge and can pulverize anything that gets in his way. The Greenskins legendary lords have gotten some changes to reflect their personality, but the Greenskins as a whole has also gotten some changes to reflect their love for war and their fast spore-based growth. To reflect their growth, the Greenskins has a lot of building chains producing growth and they can grow really fast. But they also have a horde-like cost to their buildings where all their building chains requires population surplus. They also have a couple of new building chains that gives province and faction-wide bonuses, but also unlocks technologies at tier 5. Orcs Are the Best requires Orc Forts and leads to technologies that gives bonuses to your characters and Orc units. Private Goblin Workshops requires Gobbo Metropolis and leads to technologies that improve goblins, spiders, squigs and artillery units. A Savage War requires Shrine to Gork and Mork and leads to technologies which buffs your monster units and Savage Orcs. And finally we have I'm the Boss, which requires Uber Mega Tower, which leads to technologies that gives you campaign bonuses in 2 tiers, the second of which improves the first but at a cost of something else. They also have new post-battle options where they can choose money as usual, charge bonus and growth, or replenishment, physical resistance and obedience. They also have new raising options which gives faction-wide buffs with upkeep reduction and obedience, or replenishment and growth. Grimgor is all about being the biggest and strongest, so he's gotten a new mechanic where every 5 levels, starting at level 5, he gets an event where he gets 4 options of permanent faction-wide buffs, so you really benefit from focusing on leveling him. All the options in the event give scrap per turn, but also another buff for your faction that is different every time the event occurs. Grimgor also have the ability to recruit all the different heroes at the start of the campaign. He gives fear to all orc units above rank 7 and increases the armor for boys, biggins and black orcs, and he have access to the Immortals legendary unit. As usual, Skarsnik can only recruit orc units from current 8 peaks, but he gets access to Night Goblin Fanatics, he gets a new skill line and a new ambush stance. He also have cheaper hero action, which grants more experience, upkeep and recruit reduction for Goblin units, and a unique building chain in Carrack 8 peaks. Skarsnik's new skill line give bonus ambush chance, some bonus to fight dwarves, some underway bonuses, bonuses to Goblin units, and slippery to Skarsnik and overzealous attacks to Night Goblins. Skarsnik's ambush stance Masterful Ambush only requires 10% movement, it gives 5 melee attack during the ambush battles, and increases the chance of underway interception. Since Worzak is the Great Green Prophet, he focuses mostly on his shamanic powers and his rogue idol. The Savage Rogue Idol can be recruited from the tier 3 Savage Orc building, and he starts weaker than we saw him earlier, but Worzak has a skill line to juice him up. The skill line starts at rank 10, and each skill improves the Rogue Idol and gives some other nice bonuses. Worzak's faction bonus gives all his units perfect vigor as long as they're in high health in enemy territory. His army suffer less attrition, enemy actions have lower success chance, and he gets access to the Savage Orc Warboss and the Savage Rogue Idol. Grom the Paunch has not changed much besides the general greenskin changes, except for one flavorful technology that is exclusive to Grom. The Warlord Grom technology in the category Grom the Fat is available when Tor Ivres is conquered and tiered up. It grants a lot of bonuses when fighting against high elves and buffs to goblins. Grom's faction bonus is his trusty Cauldron, he likes temperate islands, is not friends with elves, he globally recruits goblins faster, and he recruits chariots and pump wagons at higher ranks. Since Azag the Slaughterer is known for his Crown of Sorcery that once belonged to Nagash, he gets some mechanics based around the crown and the vampire counts. The Crown of Sorcery grants Azag random missions against other factions with unique effects and followers. He likes temperate climate, he gets diplomatic relations with vampire counts and Arcan the Black, he gets some research rate, and he can recruit zombie, terrorgeist and zombie dragon units. Zombies are recruited from the settlement buildings, while the terrorgeist and zombie dragon are recruited from the shaman building line. And that was all the units and mechanics of the Greenskins in SFO Grimhammer 2. Which unit do you like the most, and what do you think of the Greenskins mechanics? Tell me in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video or found it helpful, consider leaving a like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!